Hey Rose, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. I wanted to start off and ask you about the role itself of Faith Brewster. I was wondering what kind of research you did for it. I mean, beyond obviously watching, Fox News for a few days. Was there anything specific that you were trying to evoke, or was it just sort of taking all of it in and funneling it into a character?
John immediately directed me to this really pretty famous documentary. It's older now, it's at least 20 years old, from the 90s, called The War Room by D.A. Pennebaker. Yeah, and so that was a really great source of inspiration for John, particularly the relationship between James Corville and Mary Maitland, and how that fantastic dynamic, being on opposite sides of the political spectrum, obviously, but having this sort of clearly like a great attraction and a kind of sexy banter, and that was something he wanted me to really sort of watch and observe. So that was a great inspiration.
I mean, I know some actors kind of find that when they, when they get their costume or when they get like their hair done or if they get whatever done, they can automatically connect with the character. For you, what was the moment where you felt like you maybe not understood the character, but I guess you felt that I know who Faith Brewster is now.
I was how do I say this? The political speak of these characters is so, when you watch people like this, whether it's a Kellyanne Conway or a Mary Maitland or whomever, they just say it off the cuff, almost bored. They can just talk, and to try to get that ease of that dialogue was a constant challenge. So I never quite felt like I got anything. I was just like, does that sound like I know what I'm talking about? Because I don't know, like
it worked. I mean, I'll tell you, it worked. Like, it was very convincing.
That's Jon Stewart, though, because he's just so effortless, and he can talk to someone like me, a layman, who I thought, oh, I know how it works, and I was like, I don't know anything after I had a conversation with him about a super PAC for like 45 minutes, and I was like, but what happens? So it was. I always felt like I was a little bit like head above water, just trying to make it sound.
Just try to keep it on, yeah. Do you find? I mean, like obviously, like you've done like Bad Neighbors and Spy, which is all very kind of like broad comedy, whereas this is quite. I don't want to say it's more intelligent or anything, but like, I mean, it's definitely more pointed. For you as a comedic actor, I mean, how do you find any difference between it, or is it just a case of go in and read the lines and try your best not to fuck it up or whatever?
You're always tonally part of such a bigger picture. I always see a movie at the end, I'm like, oh, that's what it was. It's such a director's medium, so it's only at the end that you're. So when you're in it, I'm always trying to tonally figure out what the director is wanting. But I approach it always the same way, particularly with comedy and drama too. Comedy is the same as drama, except on top of that, you have to get a laugh. And that's a direct quote from Catherine O'Hara, who's one of my idols as an actress. So I truly believe that.
Final question: how did you find working with Steve Carell? Because I know he's quite good with like improvisation and stuff like that, and you can see a few of the scenes of the two of you could feel like you were riffing quite a bit. How was that?
I've had a long-standing acting crush on Steve, so I was really nervous. I was like, I just hope I don't screw this up. Oh God, and trying not to laugh. And he's very spontaneous and unpredictable with his improv. He's like Melissa McCarthy. You're just like, what did you just say? Like, and to also improv within that world of politico speak and Washington and pundits, and he did it just effortlessly. So.
I'm gonna make a big deal of this.
It's on here, boys. Game on.
Tons of press, lots of money.
This seems a bit crazy.
What do you think of that right there? I don't. Sorry, not you, Dot.